Awesome. Okay, we're going to get started. And again, welcome. I hope you all had a great 3-day weekend. Just want to give a shout out to our affiliates, Legendary Escrow, Orange Coast Title, American Home Shield. We do have a guest today who's going to pop in for a few minutes. He's got a lot going on that he wants to share with you. And so I would like to welcome Eric Gilman, Sharp Retention. Welcome, Eric.
Good morning.
There you are.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you so much for having me on. I greatly appreciate it. Can you put me in the Brady Bunch mode so I can see people's faces, please?
I can. Well, you might see their names.
Okay, it's all good.
Here, let me do this.
Why you? Oh, perfect. That's I see. Well, I see a couple of faces. And hello, hi, Ellen. Good to see you. Eileen, hello. Thanks for having your cameras on. Good morning, everybody. And Gina, yeah, thank you for having me on today. For those of you I haven't met yet, my name's Eric Gilman. You know it's going to be a great day when the knife guy shows up to your meeting. Yes, he does. Gina, you've been using our gifts for a couple of years. What's one thing you like most about them, or what's one of the things you want your agents to know about them today?
I like the fact they're considered advertising, so they're tax deductible.
Bingo.
Bottom line.
Absolutely.
And the clients love them, and they're the best knives ever.
Well, we're spending the money anyway, and I love that you said that. Is we're just diverting it to something that lasts, that you can get the full write-off on. For those of you who aren't familiar with how our team helps you say thank you to our clients, we do it in a one-of-a-kind, first-class, 100% American-made way. And what I mean by that is we take your name, your logo, your tagline, and our team custom engraves it. It's a little hard to see on Zoom, but I can follow up with plenty of info on a super high quality, 100% American made kitchen knife called Cutco. Show of hands, a couple people have their cameras on. Raise your hand, wave your hands in the air like you just don't care if you own any Cutco in your house. Nice. And for those of you who might not have heard of it before, if the people who own Cutco could help me out and maybe throw a comment in the chat box, just maybe how long you've owned it for, if you use them every day, something you love about your Cutco knives, because some people haven't heard of them. If you haven't, real quick, they're super high quality, 100% American made, guaranteed forever knives, because every client eats food every day and every house you sell has a kitchen. And what we do is we custom engrave it with your name and your logo and your tagline. Keeps you top of mind forever. Okay, because in our business, how important is staying top of mind, right? If you're taking notes, you should write this number down. 86% of people, according to a National Association of Realtors, said they would use you again in the future. Does anyone want to take a guess? If you have your camera or if your microphone on, feel free to shout out the answer. Does anyone want to take a guess what that number drops down to after just 3 years?
Mm-hmm.
What was it, Gina? What was
30%.
30? Yeah. It's
3.
8. We go from
I've heard
90% of people tell you they'll use you again to 8% actually do. And that's according to NAR. So staying top of mind is key.
Kids fun with my kids. No one will
with most gifts, wine, champagne, what are other gift cards, gift baskets? Traditional gifts are nice, but where do they end up?
Gone.
Bingo. You got it. They're gone. They eat it. They drink it. Or it's like a painted rock or like a painting of the house and they just put it on a shelf and it gathers dust over time. The fact of the matter is people aren't sitting around talking about the real estate professional as much as we like to think that they are. So that's where our team comes in. We put your name, your logo, your tagline in the most used room in the entire household. But also because they're engraved, Gina, you already said it, but because these gifts are engraved, who can shout it out? What does that mean for your taxes? Is right. 100% tax deductible. You can write off the entire cost of the gift as marketing advertising. 90% of gifts are consumed and you can't even get the write-off. With this, because they're engraved, it's marketing, advertising. You can take the full write-off on the gift. They range in price from $50 to $250. Okay, it's the same money we're already spending anyway on gift baskets and champagne. And if you love giving gift baskets, take one of these knives and throw it in the gift. Well, don't throw it. Gently place it in the gift basket. And then when the wine and the cookies and the champagne are all gone, what's the one thing still left? Bingo. The thing I want you to hear more than anything today, my friends, is how is the gift that you're giving to your clients representing the lifetime relationship that you plan on having with them? So the way it works, I want to wrap it up here, answer any questions, of course, and I do have $100 of free Cutco to give away to somebody on this call right now, so pay attention. The way it works is we ship you out a supply of gifts to have on hand for the year. We call it a year supply. That's different for every agent. That could be 5 gifts. It could be 50 gifts. We ship you everything all at one time, but we bill it over 6 months, automatically interest-free. So it's not like a financing. There's no credit or involved or anything like that. It's just nice on cash flow. And then also, no one's job here is to run around town once a month customizing a gift basket. Am I right? Don't go to the liquor store the 2 hours before a closing wondering what type of alcohol they like or even if they drink in the first place. Okay, like I said, every house has a kitchen. Everybody cuts food into smaller pieces to fit it into their mouth. So a knife is a perfect gift for everybody. You have them on hand. When you have a closing, you grab one. It comes with a gift letter. You give it to them. They love it, and you're done. And when you tell them this is the first piece of Cutco we're giving you, I'm looking forward to building up your set over time simply by allowing us to help with your friends and family in real estate. You'll end up like my good friend Josh Pono, who tells the story all the time. He's got a client who calls him up and goes, Josh, I have another referral for you. But I just want to let you know, it's not because I love you so much. It's because I want the next knife in my set. Again, how is the gift we're giving representing the lifetime relationship? So I have a gift certificate here for $100 of free Cutco. It's going, you have a 1 in 30 chance of winning it right now. Very, very simple, easy way to enter. Pull out your phones. Most of you have them on you or are already in your hand. I'm going to have you shoot me a quick text message. Okay, don't do it yet. Some of you might have my phone number. All you have to do to get entered in the drawing is put in your name, and you're going to text it to my number. If you'd like to set up a time to meet, chat about gifts, get some more information. If you need to place an order or a reorder, you're going to, in addition to your name, put the word sharp, S-H-A-R-P, all caps or anything like that. Like, wow, that Cutco knife is sharp. If you put the word sharp in there, I'm going to send you some times to get together. It takes 20 minutes. We'll meet via Zoom. I'll answer any questions. I'll help you place a gift order if you need to. Okay, so the name is, you're going to put your name and the word sharp if you want to meet. And I'm going to put the number in the chat. And y'all ready? Give me a thumbs up if you're ready. My phone number is 858-255-1142. That's 858-255-1142. That is in the chat as well. I'll say it one more time before we wrap up. Shoot me a text. I'm going to do a drawing right now for about a 1 in 30 chance that the text are coming in. So you got the number. I'll say it one more time. 858-255-1142. While those roll in, before we wrap it up, does anyone have any quick questions or comments about how much they love giving out Cutco to their clients?
No, but your ice cream scoop and pie cutter are really nice. Clients like those.
Legendary.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Cool. So I want to wrap it up there. I have a bunch of texts coming in. Gina, I'm going to have you pick our lucky winner here.
How do I do that?
I'm going to have you pick a number 1 through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Thank you everyone for texting me. 7, 10, 12, 13, 14. Looking about 4. We'll call it 1 to 14. Gina, please pick a number 1 to 14.
Number 1.
Number 1. Derek B's my
You got to figure the fastest one to respond is the one that wants it.
Hypothetically, he was actually the slowest one to respond. It was the most recent text message. It all works out. So cool. Well, my number is that number in the chat. Again, my name is Eric. I'm the sharpest guy you know. I do live in San Diego, but I service the entire Coachella Valley area. So if you do want to meet face to face, I'm out there every couple weeks or so. And so I've been working with Gina and the team for very many years, and just grateful to still be connected with y'all. If you have any questions, please let me know. And I hope everybody has a super sharp rest of your day. Thank you, Gina.
Awesome. You're welcome, Eric. Thank you. And I do have some flyers I'll send out with everybody that you left for me so they know what you're doing as well. Okay, have a great day. Thank you so much. And I am going to share my screen again. There we go. All right, here we go. So let's move on here. I just want to congratulate listings for January. Goal is 30. We're on the way. We need to pound a few more. Hey, good to see you, George. But congratulations, Michael Charles, Wasserman Group, Ed, Ann, Brian, Judy, Wasserman again, and Julia Baraja. So congratulations. We need those listings. Keep them coming. Open escrows, we have, I mean, it is busy out there. If you, I mean, I hope you guys are seeing all of this as well, but Mark's Real Estate Group, Lance Frank, Wasserman Group, multiple times, Alonzo, Angie, George, Angie, George, Wasserman, Alonso, Debbie Bellman, Brian, Ann, Doris and Loopy, Mimi, Tom, George Lopez, and Ann again. Congratulations on all your efforts. I know how hard it is out there right now, and I shouldn't say hard. It's challenging. It's a lot of work. So kudos for staying focused and making things happen. I'm proud of all of you. Okay, now let's move into Mr. Wasserman, who is going to be covering the Desert Housing Report for last month. So welcome, Mark.
Thank you. How's everybody doing? Got a huge crowd here today. Sound like Trump. Huge.
Unbelievable.
Can't even count them. There's so many. I thought what I would do today is switch it up a little bit, not go through every single slide, but go through the slides that I use often, that my team uses often, but more important, are critical in discussions with buyers and sellers. So I thought we'd make this a little bit more interactive. And so that means you have to participate. And so Gina, if you could go to the first slide. Okay, so this is the median detached home price. The median price of a detached home in the Coachella Valley ended the year at $615,000. Wow, which represents a yearly gain of 18.3%. Wow. As the graph shows, we've now entered the seasonal period of price strength, a pattern that goes back at least 15 years or more, and we expect the seasonal pattern of price strength to continue. So let's approach it from the standpoint of we're dealing with a buyer. Okay, Derek, right? Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for volunteering. So what are you so what are you hearing from buyers? What's the challenge with buyers, given the fact that prices have gone up so much over the last couple of years, and what are the objections that you're hearing when it comes to specifically buyers based on the price of a single family residence?
Well, the buyers that I have they're basically from Los Angeles. Okay. Looking for second homes. Mm-hmm. And all of them have said, I'm going to take a step back and wait for things to calm down. Right. I don't want to get involved in multiple offers is the main thing. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to settle down, see if prices are going to come down a little bit, maybe now with interest rates going up. Right. I've advised, I'm not sure that that's going to happen. I'm not sure that, but the main thing is they didn't want to get caught up in all the drama. So that's the main objective, right? I mean, the main objection, excuse me. What's the answer to that? So about 54% of our market or so is out of town buyers that don't live here. They're second homes or investment properties, right? We're all dealing with those types of buyers. What's the answer? And maybe somebody at home has a good answer. What's the answer to that objection for somebody who's an out-of-town buyer who says, you know what, prices have gotten way too high, the market's way too hot, I'm going to sit out and wait this one out? Does anybody have a good answer to that objection? Yes. Well, you want a mic? Sorry.
I remind folks that the median price of a home in this market still is far below anything else that you could buy in any other market on the coast in California. Mm-hmm. Can't buy a garage in Orange County for $615,000. Right. That being said, the second question I asked them is, what makes you think that? and they rarely have any answers to it except, just what they've heard.
Right.
Then I remind them that consistently, if you wait, you are going to pay more. There's no indication that prices are going to come down. They may stabilize, but there's no indication, there's no leading economic indicators that reflect a turnaround in the
Good.
price of pricing.
Good. And that second sentence in that particular slide is that we typically, this is seasonal, right? So we typically see prices go higher in the season typically, right? Because there's more buyers in the market. That's really good. So what's it really all about with a buyer? It's all about their sense of urgency and the reasons that they need to buy. So let's just switch that real quick. What about somebody who is moving here for a job or not they're going to live here. They're going to be a resident in the Coachella Valley. What is the answer to that question, to that particular buyer when they say, gosh, the market is really, really hot? Anybody at home have an answer for us? Don't all talk at once. Yes. What? Wait. Let me give you a mic so everybody can hear you.
It's just inventory. It's very low. So if you have a chance to buy something right now while the interest rates are low and there's something that you love, get it.
Good. Say that again. Hold. What about interest rates?
That interest rate is still very low.
Right. So if you have somebody who has that urgency that has to purchase a home, right? Interest rates, we're seeing a lot of cash buyers, right? There really is a sense of urgency, but that second sentence in there is that we expect the price trends to continue. None of us can guarantee it, but to your point, excellent, is that we believe that this is going to continue. And if inventory continues to stay low, obviously that's going to put upward pressure on prices, right? So are we at the top of the roller coaster? Who knows, right? I mean, I said a year ago, this can't continue. And here we are another year and we're another 20-30% down the road in terms of price increases, right? Good. Okay, excellent. All right. So let's go to, let's skip that one. We spent a lot. Gina, how much time do we have? A couple more minutes?
15 minutes.
Okay. Let's go to the 12-month change in the price of an average size home. Okay, so this one is an excellent chart, particularly when you're dealing with sellers, okay? And the reason I say that is because they've changed it, which I think is great. So remember now they've added the average size of a home, plus they've added the price per square foot of that home. So it gives us an even better way to compare prices today from last year and then 2011. I'm glad they didn't take that out because 2011, as those of us have been doing it for a while know that was really when it was the bottom, right? That was when homes were the least expensive in the last 20 years or so. So let's just look at a couple of cities. So for example, in Palm Springs, the average size of a home of a single family detached home is 2,175 square feet. Price per square foot, $544.99. The price of that average size home is $1,185,000. In 2011, it was $323,000. That's ridiculous. That's crazy. That is a 266% gain from the low of 2011. So if you bought a home in 2011, you're happy because you're going to sell right now, right? And that's another point I want to talk about is that if you are struggling to find sellers, you're looking for sellers, get Title to give you a list of people that bought in 2011, 12, maybe even 13, because that was the lowest we were. Those are where prices, they're going to see the biggest price gain. And take this report with you and take this chart with you to that appointment and show them, look, you're up 260%. Where else can you make that kind of money in what, 10, 12 years? It's crazy.
Which is why they
excellent.
always say real estate long-term
Yeah.
is the best investment
Yeah.
a person can make. It's
And-
the best thing to generate wealth.
And back to the point we were just talking about, have we reached the peak? Well, who knows? I mean, what if we see these gains in another 10 years? Where are we going from here? And to your point about Orange County and San Diego and LA, I know all of us have. I have several clients from San Francisco who sold homes in San Francisco for $3-4 million. They come down here, they're looking at $1 million property that is as nice or close to what they sold for $3 or $4 million in San Francisco, and they're excited about the market. So that's a great point if you're dealing with people from those areas, because we've made up some of those price gains, if you will, that they've seen in San Diego, Orange County, and LA, right? Even San Francisco, right? Okay, let's go to the next one. So this is a really interesting chart. They're all interesting. I say that every time, but when you look at this one, so their last month on a 3-month average, there were 878 homes sold in the Coachella Valley. That's still 878 homes every month that are being sold. Now we're down from where we were before, where it was 1,100-1,200, but we're still seeing a good rate of homes being sold, right? So that's something to point out to both buyers and sellers. So how would I use this chart when talking to a buyer? What are some good points I would use when talking to a buyer? Why is it important that we're still selling 878 homes a month? Anybody? Yeah, go ahead. Where's the mic?
So what you hear from the first thing that people will say is, again, what they've heard. Oh, just it's doom and gloom.
Right.
But the fact of the matter is that 900 homes are still available.
Right.
And what that requires simply, I like what Angie Torres told me when she said, I tell my buyers, we're going to just be patient. We're going to find you a home.
Right.
I'm going to be patient.
Right.
And we will find you something. But there's no time like the present to get started.
Right. And you definitely have to be patient if you're working with buyers, right? And you've got to sit down with them at the beginning of the process and really explain what's going on in this market. Yes, we're selling less homes than we have in months prior, but there's still homes being sold. You've got to be patient. You've got to expect to lose a couple. You've got to come in on a strong offer. We were talking about this the other day. What's a comparable in these days? Comparable is what the seller's willing to sell for and what the buyer's willing to pay to buy the house. I mean, CMAs and comparables are really tough right now because even looking at 6 months, we've seen 15% price gains in such a short period of time. It's hard to have the discussion with buyers. It's like, well, what's the house worth? Well, it's worth what you're willing to pay if it is a house that is one of those that's popular and hot. If it's been sitting on the market a long time, that's a different story, right? There's still opportunities to make offers and get homes that have been sitting on the market for a while, right? And this is
define sitting on the market in today's mindset.
more than 25 days, right? I mean, because we'll look at that chart real quick, but more than 25 days. If you have a house that's been on the market for 100 days, you need to be asking some questions. Why has this been on the market for so long?
Mark, I will also add something that people don't think about that have lived here a long time. We forget that this market is only about 500,000 full-time residents. Right. That's a small market. It really is. Yep. You can't compare it to Los Angeles or any other place. I mean, any place in Riverside County for that matter. Yeah. It really is a small market. Mm-hmm. So when you look at it from a relative standpoint, 900 is actually
it's a lot of homes.
Yeah, it's a lot of homes.
Yeah. On a rolling 3-month average, that's a lot of homes. And I think that for me, this is motivation for myself. When I've put in 20 offers for 2 different buyers and I haven't gotten one, I always go back to this for my own well-being and say there's still homes being sold. There's still quite a few homes being sold, given the size of our market, that I can do it. And I think it should be motivation for you to know that there's still homes being sold in this market and at a pretty good clip.
And I'm glad you said that. From an agent perspective, I hear some agents say, yeah, I'm just not going to do anything because there's just no listings out there right now. Well, the best agents, the most seasoned agents in the industry, they learn how to be flexible. They learn how to roll with whatever market is given to us. And we just do what we need to do, right? So if we need listings, they up their marketing to get more listings. They're getting out to meet more people. They're doing the necessary. They're looking at the farming list, saying who bought properties between this year and this year, and then going after those people saying, do you know what equity you have in your home? There's lots of things that can be done right now. So don't get discouraged. Homes are definitely listing, but they're selling quickly. If you have the listing, imagine what that means for your business.
And don't give up on buyers, because look, I realize all of us want listings. It's an easier way to obviously do our job, but don't give up on buyers. You've got to get up every morning. You got to look at the hot sheet. You got to see what's out there and you got to match those buyers. I send out multiple emails every morning. Hey, there's another house in Rancho La Quinta. Of course, there'll be 50 of us looking at it, but but I just put one in escrow in the Citrus. There was a lot of people there. We put in a really strong offer. The agent and I have worked together before. We were one of the first people in. Those kind of things matter. So you've got, if in this market, if you're working with buyers, you got to be quick, you got to be agile, you got to get in fast, you got to get that offer in as soon as possible. You also have to be strategic. If the agent says, okay, I'm waiting, the seller can wait till Sunday to submit the offer. Don't put the offer in on Friday. put the offer in on Sunday, because what's the agent gonna do? They're gonna use your offer to jack up the price with all the other buyers, right? So wait until they're gonna make that decision. That's happening a lot. A lot of sellers agents are waiting until Sunday afternoon to present to their clients. So make sure that they're gonna be true to their word. And if they say, yes, we're gonna wait till 5 p.m., I would not put that offer in until late in the day on Sunday, because you don't want to use, them to use yours to jack up the price. Yeah, they just use it as leverage against the other offers.
Or
Okay.
use a confidentiality agreement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're such a broker. That's awesome. I love it. Okay, let's go a couple more. I want to talk about a couple more. So, yeah, let's go to the inventory. So this just every month continues to amaze me. I am absolutely shocked every month when I look at this, because we had a couple months where inventory ticked up a little bit. If you guys come to these, we're up at about 700, maybe 800. And last month we were at the start of this month, 607 listings, and yet 870 are being sold. So that every listing just about that gets put on the market is being sold, right? I mean, we have a very quick churn rate. But this obviously is where the opportunity is. But I got to tell you, if you're going to get a listing, you've got to be prepared, because especially if it's an $800,000 house, a $700,000 house, it's in great shape. You are going to be inundated with buyer inquiries and offers. You've got to be prepared. You have to be prepared. I wanted to see one in Victoria Falls last weekend, and I texted the agent on a Friday, called the agent on a Friday, nothing, called her Saturday, called the agent Saturday, called the agent again, never returned my call. And then, Monday I saw it went into escrow, and finally got a hold of that agent. Said, what's up? I'm sorry, I was inundated. We have to be prepared, because I'm telling you right now, you get a really hot listing, you're going to be inundated with inquiries. So be prepared. But this is what's driving the market. I mean, the lack of listings is driving the price increases. So how do I, as a listing agent, use this to my advantage? Thank you again for volunteering. What's your name again? I'm sorry.
Magdalena, I'm sorry.
Okay, so how would you use that 607 number in a discussion with a seller? They're thinking about selling their home. They're not sure they want to sell it.
Well, this would put them in a good position to, get the money that they're looking for, because they're still, very low inventory, like I said before.
Right. What else? What are some other good points about low inventory to a seller? Anybody?
The demand is outpacing the inventory.
Okay, explain that.
There's more buyers than sellers.
Right. Right.
So,
Yeah.
as simple as it gets.
Yeah. Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. It's a fairly simple answer, right? Buyers, obviously, it's 870 homes being sold, only 607 listings. Buyers are outpacing sellers. I mean, it's that simple, right? And that's what's driving the price up in all these homes. Yeah. No.
The biggest challenge for me is people saying, where am I gonna go? Where do I live? What can I buy? Because
Right.
if I list my house, yes, I'm gonna get money, but then I'm out of a house.
Man, I wish I had a good answer for that. Do you have a good answer for that? That is a real problem. And it's something that I hear every time I speak to a seller, with a few exceptions, somebody who maybe is moving across the country where, they've already identified a property, they're building something, but there's a lot of people, a lot of sellers sitting on the fence because they have nowhere to go. And if you're thinking about selling the house and taking advantage of the high price and then renting a house, it's not going to happen either. There's no rentals.
Yeah.
The rental market is just as stressed.
I think that's a time when discovery in terms of your client's needs and wants is really, really important. You want to find out, because people won't just sell just for the money. There's always a secondary or tertiary motivation. Is that motivation, family? Is it downsizing or upgrading? You really need to find out what their motivation is and then try to build upon that.
Excellent. Yeah, and I think that's true on both sides right now. If you're not asking the questions, what's motivating you to sell your home? What's motivating you to buy a home? If you have someone that has to be in a home next week, I mean, they're moving for a job or what have you, that person is a lot different than a secondary home buyer who says, you know what, I don't need to rush. I need to take my time. It's very, very different. That's why it's so important to really discuss these things with the seller. The answer is a difficult one because they're absolutely right. It depends on the motivation. Why do you need to sell? I think it's our duty to be a good advisor. And maybe it's just not the right time to sell. Yes, the market's red hot, but where are you going to go? You can't live out of your car, right? So I think,
And just remember too, listings are coming up every day. So
Yeah.
if that's a concern of your seller, the answer is, why don't we make it contingent upon you finding replacement property?
right.
You can always do that. And that should be a question you're asking every one of your sellers, number one. Number two, you could say potentially we can negotiate a lease back scenario for you up to 3 months, 6 months, whatever it is they
Right.
think. Because again, listings are hitting the market every single day. That is option number two. Option number three, don't forget, we have Apex guys. They'll come in, they'll buy the house at, appraised value, and they'll let them live there up to a year.
Yeah.
And it's the cost is unbelievable.
Yeah.
So unbelievably good. So, and we're going to have Apex, I think, next week,
Great.
review some of the stuff with us. But there are definitely options. Don't let that be a preventive objection. If they really do want to sell, let's get it sold and we can negotiate what's going to happen that works out best for them.
I think every one of my last 12 transactions had an SIP, a seller in possession, and double seller in possession. So these sellers had a seller in possession, and so did the people that they were buying their house from had a seller in possession. So it's like, whoa, we had the SIP on top of SIP. The one in the citrus I just put in, they're doing a 2-month lease back. The sellers really are in control, and buyers many times don't have a choice but to acquiesce and allow that SIP or that lease back to take place. Otherwise, they're not going to get the home. These people are actually going to stay in an Airbnb from San Francisco to wait while these people are, in their house. So yeah, you got it really creative.
And Mark, to your point earlier, you said in that sale that you had worked with the Citrus Club, you'd worked with the agent before.
Yep.
One thing that I'm learning is that a lot of agents in this market tend to work in a vacuum. They don't really get to know other agents, not only within the company, but outside of it.
Yep.
I really work hard at that, at
Yep.
building those relationships
Yep.
so that that's a point that you can sell,
Right.
is that you are networking,
Right.
and you will have information
Yep.
available to help them find their next property.
Yeah, your reputation in this market is absolutely critical. And you cannot get upset. You've got to be professional. There's a lot of things that come up in this market. A lot of weird things happen. You just have to be professional and just remember it's a business transaction. Let's look at a good point. Let's look at one more. Let's just go to the discount, because I think, again, this is one of the really, really important. Yeah. So there's no discounts, right? I mean, very, very few. If you run individual markets, individual country clubs and things like that, very, very few. And if you look at, for example, Rancho La Quinta, it's like 1.05. You look at some of these others, it's 1.1% over ask. So the majority of properties are either at or above asking price. Okay. But again, if something's on the market for a long time, it's an opportunity to possibly get it for lower. But if you can go to the next one, please. So if you look at these individual markets, go to the next one. Oh, sorry, no, you're right. So you look at Bermuda Dunes, 1.8, so it's 1.8 above list. Everything in blue is above. 1.6 Desert Hot Springs, 1.6 Indio, 1.4 Palm Springs, so on and so forth. The only ones that were under or at was Rancho Mirage, 0. So Rancho Mirage was selling at ask. 0.1% in Palm Desert and 0.4% in Indian Wells in terms of single family homes. So you have to educate your buyers. If somebody thinks they're going to come in and offer, 30% below, it's not going to happen. So don't even waste anybody's time. And this chart is absolutely critical in that discussion. Also with sellers to know, look, we've got to price your property at or below comparable so that we can hopefully create, that bidding war and run it up. Same with condos. Phenomenal. Usually this is 3% discount rate. 2.5 is where we always sort of, have been over the last few years. This is phenomenal. So any questions? I know we're running out of time. I think, again, if you're not studying this report every month, you're making big mistakes. And if you're not giving this to your buyers and your sellers every time, I lead with this with both buyers and sellers. The first thing I pull out, I explain the market. And if you're not using this, you're doing yourself a disservice.
Good information.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're
so
welcome.
much.
You're welcome.
Okay, and now the one, the only Maria Hill, Vice President, Marketing and Communications. Maria, welcome. Unmute yourself, por favor. Yes, she's here. I saw her. Maria. Anybody seen West Side Story yet? Yeah? I can't wait to see it. Where's Maria? Maria. Oh, she must have. Here, let me give her a quick text real quick and let her know. Hang on. Is she back? Oops. There we go. All right. Okay, so while Maria is logging on, just a quick reminder of Apex. You know, Mark Stark literally paid for every agent who went through the 15-20 minute training. He paid the $250 fee for you to be part of the Concierge Plus program because he believes so much in the program. They are going to offer a second year if you sign up for the training before they extended this through January 31st. If you do it before the end of this month, he will pay another year for you. So it is a tremendous program. It's really helping a lot of our buyers and sellers. And so I do encourage you to pipe in and get your training. Like I said, we're going to have Kristen Raymeyer with Apex Concierge at our meeting. I believe it is next week. And she's going to cover how to present it to your clients, how, what to do, how to do it. And it's really good information. Let me peek down here and just double check because I know she was there. And I think she had to pop off. Okay, well, there we have it. Let me just all right, well, we're just going to move on here. Let's see where I am. And let's cover a couple more announcements. If you do not know, our Barbara has been offered a management position at an HOA with Desert Horizons. So she has moved on to that job, although she is an active licensee and her license still remains with us. So if you see her around, she's now an agent in our office, but she will be working in that other capacity. So I just wanted to give you guys a heads up. Imelda, you got an update for us.
Just updating everybody to sign up and take the Sky Slope Masterclass. That's every Wednesday at 10 a.m. You can go on Sky Slope. Up at the top, there's a little icon with a person in a little microphone, and you go and click on there and they will give you the chance to sign up for the class. They also do the Breeze class for all of your disclosures, and those are usually on Tuesdays at 10 a.m. So either or, you can go on there and sign up for either of those classes. And that's it.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Okay. And then what is coming up here? We have flex training is always, and please check the CDAR. There's a lot of really great programs that are coming up, legal programs, MLS programs, etc. This coming Friday at 10, I have signed up for and I don't know if you've seen this before, but it's phenomenal. It's the Berkshire Hathaway Luxury Collection Global Open House. They pick a few properties from around the world, and these properties are phenomenal. And so I'm going to be showing it via Zoom here in this office. Next Tuesday, the 25th, yes, Apex will be here. Thursday, the 3rd is legal issues and fraudulent transactions through CDAR. Darren Welsh, our company attorney, will be live Zoom participating as a special guest at our Indian Wells meeting. He's going to be covering the new laws for 2022 and what you need to do to stay out of trouble. I'll be emailing this out to everyone, just so you have it. And then don't forget the Berkshire National Convention in Louisville, March 13th through 15th. I'm so excited. I don't know if you guys are, who's planning on going, but we get to go to Churchill Downs. And I see that they're even going to run a couple races for us. How cool is that? I mean, that's like a bucket list thing. So that's so exciting. Don't forget to save the date, Tuesday, March 8th. This is for our 3 states, Mark Stark's organization's annual sales event at the Ritz-Carlton and Rancho Mirage. Everyone is invited, whether or not you're getting an award. I strongly encourage you to come participate. It's just a lot of fun. And it's great. We can cheer on our fellow agents and have a really good time. Is that Maria that might have popped back in? Maria?
What time is that going to be?
It's in the morning. Yeah, it usually starts around 9 o'clock and is over by 11. It's just a couple hours in the morning. Okay. I don't know what happened. So I may have to bring her in. Let me just double check one more time. In the meantime, anything you guys want to bring up, talk about, objections, issues?
There's an ethics training or
Oh,
something.
let's talk about
Yeah,
that.
I need to
Okay,
be
so
enlightened.
ethics training is every 2 years. And when you do your license renewal, that includes ethics training.
Oh.
And then 2 years later, you do it on just the ethics training alone. When you complete your ethics training, you send your certificate to CDAR. You can copy me with it, so I have it on file in case anybody ever asks me for it. And then 2 years again, you do license renewal. So it's that every 2 year period, you need to just refresh because it seems that ethics is the one challenge most agents have. And they want to make sure you're being reminded of that frequently. So, yeah.
Gina,
Hang on, Marianne.
Okay.
It's not 3 years, it's 2 years.
I went online, they said 3.
Yeah, well, it's 2.
Okay.
Gina,
Yes, Ellen.
I called CDAR, our local office, and
Yes.
they can check. It's not like you have to go through the texting and everything else with putting in your NAR number and everything else, but they have the information and I called and they said I was still good for another year. So just call
Okay.
CDAR and they'll help you.
Yeah, but sometimes what I have found is because CDAR doesn't have your certificate, they may not show. And if there's an issue, if you think you've done your training and CDAR's not showing it, if you go to the NAR website and it's nar.realtor and look at your profile, it will tell you if your ethics certificate is up to date. So that's just something. So that's just make sure that you get that up to date. Okay, well, I'm not sure what happened to Miss Maria, but I will reschedule her to come back. And so I don't want to just sign off. Obviously, something happened and she had to go somewhere. So I apologize to you for that, but let's make it an awesome day. And I'm here if you guys need me. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Gina.
Thank you, Ellen.
Bye, Gina. Thank you.
Thank you, Gina.
Bye, you guys. Thank you.